Hey everyone, wanted to spend a little bit of time talking to you this morning about some upcoming changes that we're going to have related to pay. Your area manager suggested this was probably the easiest way to do this, so we're coming to you via video and we're going to explain some of the upcoming changes that we're going to have. So we're going to first talk about the price increase, and that will be effective January 1. We're going to talk about some of the corresponding pay plan adjustments that will then happen as a result of the price increase. And then we'll just cover very briefly a couple of other adjustments that have been made, past and future adjustments to pay. Okay, let's first talk about the price increase. So we're going to go up by $1 on all services beginning on January 2nd when we come back. The area managers have your updated price squares. They'll be handing those out to you if they haven't already. And then lastly, the prices in Salon Ultimate will be updated to reflect the price increase for all services. However, we want you to make sure that you've checked those prices when you come in on January 2nd to verify that everything's gone through the computer system and whatnot. If they have not, then you need to contact your area manager first thing on January 2nd. Okay? So let's talk just a little bit about the price increase. The reason we're doing this now is several reasons. One is that we've seen increased cost from COVID-related expenses, all of the increased sanitation that we've had. Everybody knows it's just been a tough year, and we've had a lot of increased costs, but have not increased our prices. Unlike most other Sport Clips franchisees across the country, when they came back, many of them increased their prices by $1, some $2, and even a few as many as $3 for their services. The other thing that's happened is all of our competitors around us have raised their prices significantly. And so we want to remain at that relative point in the market relative to our competition. So we feel like we don't like to change prices often, but we feel like this is necessary at this time. Let's next talk about the pay plan adjustments that are going to happen as a result of the price increase. As you know, there's three areas to our pay plan: the take home per client, the paid back bar, and the service dollars per hour. The take home per client will be adjusted up and have some new minimum standards. And this is primarily because over the years, Paul Mitchell, American Crew, all of our other vendors continue to raise their prices over time. And so just by default, it becomes easier to sell that $1.50 minimum amount because the prices have increased over time. And it's been probably 5 years or more since we've raised our standard from $1.50 as the minimum. So the new standard will be going up to $1.75 as a minimum, and I'll show you the corresponding adjustments to the rest of the pay plan for take home in just 1 second. The second part of that is paid back bar. As you know, a year or two ago, the calculation on the stylus analysis sheet was changed for paid back bar percent. And we did an analysis across all of our stores, and on average it raised everybody up by 12.5% on average. And when we came out with the new pay plan, we adjusted it up about 8%, and we didn't take it all the way to the 12.5%. And we feel like because we didn't take it all the way up to that 12.5%, that over time the paid back bar, the actual paid back bar that we're doing in our stores has slowly eroded. So we are moving the paid back bar percentage to where it needs to be to reflect the different service that we're providing versus our competition. So the minimum for paid back bar now will be 55% instead of the 50%, and that of course is the number off of the stylus analysis sheet. Okay? And I'll show you the corresponding adjustments to that we will make as well. The last component of this is the service dollars per hour. And this requires just a little bit more explanation. There'll be a little bit of an adjustment up for service dollars an hour. And so let me take a few minutes and kind of explain why that is and the rationale behind that. We recently did an analysis across our entire organization and found that we are actually cutting a little bit less than 1.5 cuts per total hour. And so with a $1 price increase, if you do nothing else, your service dollars are going to go up by $1.50 per hour. So that's shown by this very simple calculation here. If you're doing 1.5 cuts per total hour and we raise prices by $1, your service dollars per hour will go up by $1.50. And that's if you do absolutely nothing else. Now, Sport Clips has traditionally always increased service dollars per hour by $2 when there's been a $1 price increase. But we felt because of the times that we're in that it was best for us to just do $1.50 at this point. So anytime you're above $1.50 or anytime you're above 1.5 cuts per hour, you should actually see a higher service dollar per increase. And historically, during normal times, all of our team members have been able to cut well above 1.5 cuts per total hour. So let me show you how this affects now the bonus matrix with everything that we've talked about up to this point, the adjustment to take home per client, paid back bar, and service dollars per hour. Okay, so here's our current pay plan, right? And it starts here at the 50-cent level if you're at $1.50 and 50% paid back bar, and there's no requirement for service dollars an hour to earn the first 50-cent bump to your hourly pay. And you can see the corresponding numbers for our current pay plan, and I think everyone should be relatively familiar with that. All right, so let's see now how the adjustments that we talked about will play into the new pay plan. So here's the new pay plan, and as we said, because we haven't had price increases in because we've had regular price increases on our retail, but haven't adjusted our minimum standards, that's now going up by 25 cents. So our first minimum standard for take home will be $1.75. The next one will go up to $2 for the $1 and $2.25. We left the $4 and the $6 where they were at $2.50 and $3. Okay, so those are the adjustments for the take home. On the paid back bar, the minimum will be 55%. The next bracket will be 60%, 65, 70, and 75. Many of you are hitting well above these numbers already. And with the metric and the way that it's calculated, this actually should probably be the least difficult number for anybody to achieve. And the last column is the service dollars per hour, and it simply went up by the $1.50 an hour that we talked about earlier because we're at 1.5 cuts per total hour. So again, we retained no requirement on the minimum level for 50 cents an hour bump, okay? And then the first level will be at $33.50 an hour, $37.50, $40.50, and $43.50. Those will all be able to, you'll be able to achieve those easily if you do exactly the same thing you're doing today. There's no additional speed up required for you to earn any of those higher levels. Okay, and the last thing that we wanted to talk about here was past and future adjustments to the pay plan. So, to everyone's base pay. So we wanted to remind everyone that last January, when we had a price increase a year ago, we went through and raised everybody's base wages by $1 at that point. And then we will have again in April our loyalty bonus for anybody that was with us from April to April. You'll be receiving a 25-cent increase to your base wage as well. And that's something that we'll continue to do into the future. So those are just a couple of other minor adjustments. We hope all of this makes sense. We hope that's clear. We've tried to be very fair in how we do this and to just kind of keep up with the market and the environment that we're in. So hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas Look forward to seeing you soon.